Hello, folks. Excuse me. I need to shave. It is Tuesday, the 17th of June. Cheers. So I knew it. Yesterday was my oldest nephew Kareem's birthday. So if you see this, Kareem, I already wished you a happy birthday yesterday, but again, happy birthday. Passage of time. Kareem turned 53 yesterday, and 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 still forever the memory of him as a small boy will remains with me. I think it's probably true for most people. The people that we grow up with, um, younger, our children, friends and family members' children, they're always babies in our minds. Some are anyway. Kareem, for a while, was like mine. Raised him like he was my son. Love him to death. So, a couple things on my mind this morning. Regarding the comments, I just delete comments that I don't understand. I think sometimes people who are, you have to remind some of you people that I don't know you. So when you think you're saying something kind of clever, or something that you think is funny, but I don't know that it's funny, and it strikes me as odd, I just delete it. Okay, it's just very simple. It's like brushing, like I brush lead off my shirt. It's like I don't know what that shit was, so just get that shit out of here. Out of here. Yes, I am old. I'm thankful to be alive. I'll be 70 years old next month. Shit. So that kind of leads me to what I had in mind from yesterday to share today regarding music. Dan, I forgot to upload the clips from my performance, which means you'll have to stop by again soon for a visit. But yesterday, okay, let me just do this too, because I only spun a couple of yesterday's records yesterday because I spent most of the day um, working on interpreting this poetry. This is a challenge for me. It is just like the movie soundtracks were a challenge because you're trying to incorporate someone else's input into what you're doing. And this is a challenge because I like these poems, but I'm not feeling what he's feeling in those poems. I don't know that I will, but that would be helpful. So that's what I'm working on. Is trying to first find a groove to match because he's going to be speaking over the music. We don't. My idea is to not make the music too intrusive or to not call too much attention to the music, but it still has to be good and reflect the words. To me, that's a challenge. But in other news, I only pulled one. Is it close? No. But a couple of musicians are dying all the time. I just found out that my friend Luke Polipnik, the guitarist who recently toured with the Flying Luttenbachers, and I've been in several bands with him. His dad died this morning. I don't think Luke watches me, but I really like Luke, and he's in Chicago now. Rest in peace, Luke's father. But two other important musicians died. One I won't be able to because he's Swedish. I have him on some records, but I didn't pull it. But I pulled this to remember Louis Maholo, drummer who just passed away. I have a few other albums that he plays on. This one is lovely. Elton Dean, originally from Soft Machine, Keith Tippett. Um, they're all gone now. All these musicians are now passed away. They do a lovely version of Naima by John Coltrane on here. And the thing about Louis Maholo's drumming, it's very sensitive. It's not bombastic and boom, 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 boom. It's more like standing on firm, solid ground. I find his playing notable. I kind of know when it's Louis Maholo playing. That's why I wanted to say something. I have other records with him playing on it. Rest in peace, Louis Maholo. The other person is a drummer too. I've got him on an Alexander von Schlippenbach record, if I remember that correctly. The other thing that I played yesterday, because these records I'm going to show next to talk about, I haven't played in a long time. But a comment yesterday brought them up. But I recently purchased this and showed this to y'all. Ceremonial Healing with Marshall Allen from Sun Ra. Played two more sides of this yesterday. This is pretty special. There's some good playing on here by everyone involved. I'm serious. It's like, it's real. That's what I can say about it. It's real. So yesterday, in the video when I showed, after I showed Frantic, it conjured up some comments from folks, and was talking about how they were a hard rock band, not psychedelic, and someone brought up another hard rock band that figures greatly in my history. So I pulled what I have by them to talk about them. And that is the band Blue Cheer. And let's start here. Never got to see Blue Cheer, but Blue Cheer are important to me. Vincebus eruptum. I can still remember when I first saw them on TV doing Summertime Blues with this hair and that fuzz guitar sound and the way the drummer was going wild, the way he played, made a strong impression on me. So this is the Dutch pressing. So yeah, Blue Cheer. Now see, in my mind, Blue Cheer are one of the first heavy rock bands, hard rock. Now see, this is where, yes, I'm an old man, because when I was a kid and this music first started, we called it hard rock. And hard rock became heavy metal. The term, people started using the word heavy metal after Black Sabbath, because when Black Sabbath first hit, that was hard rock, okay? To me and to other kids, I remember Black Sabbath wasn't no heavy metal yet. That's after the fact. So we first liners, we people who were there when it happened, it was hard rock. So in my mind, the first heavy metal band, to my experience, is Blue Cheer. And they've never identified as heavy metal that I know of. Here, I still have it, thank goodness. It's damaged, but here is my childhood copy of Blue Cheer, Inside Out. And this is a relic, as you see. It's a relic because I was a poor kid. I was so happy when this sold poorly because it cut out like almost immediately. They had the record companies obviously had big hopes for Blue Cheer after this hit, and they made money. And so they made too many of these, apparently, because I got this like maybe a year after it came out or so for, like, I still remember, 57 cents. as a cutout, and I was like ecstatic because I knew I had picked up something. You know, I couldn't afford records as a kid, full price albums, so cutouts were my mainstay. And this is one of the first that I ever bought. And because again, like I said, this stuff it inspired me. I tore the cover in half and put the poster of the band on the wall. So this is my replacement copy of Outside Inside that is intact. So when I saw this cover as a kid, I was saying like, wow, this is the real deal. And then I opened it up. It's as psychedelic as hell. And then another panel. This is why I tore this off. That picture, that's iconic. That was a poster on my wall. Do you remember that, Stephanie? You remember seeing that on my wall? My bedroom wall as a kid? They inspired me. So still, in my mind, this is the first heavy metal band for me. First hard rock band. I like Blue Cheer. I also have New Improved Blue Cheer. They went through changes, and I didn't necessarily always like what they did. Seemed like they were either chasing an identity or money. And this is pretty beat, but I have it. Blue Cheer. Yeah, I think this is a white label promo, but it's in real bad shape. Yeah. Skips and stuff. But I keep it because I respect and love Blue Cheer. So, curious some of your thoughts about that. To me, they're the first heavy metal band. And I have these related Blue Cheer records. Lee Stevens' Red Weather. This is cool. This is more psychedelic than the Blue Cheer records. And I love the graphics. So 60s and 70s, so psychedelic. And another one, which I still don't care much for, but this has, I think, at least one former member of Blue Cheer on it. Silver Meter. I showed this not so long ago, but I didn't play it then. I should play it today. And while I was there in the bees, I grabbed this because it was pretty close to the Blue Cheer, and I need to listen to this. Blossom Toes, if only for a moment. It's been a while. English R&B band that kind of made the transition into pop psych. And Jim Cregan, who was in Family after this, was in this band. And Brian Godding, who's played with a lot of people. I forget offhand, but as a guitarist, he's played with a lot of folks. And this is a reissue, double album with extra tracks. I've always liked that cover. Off the top of my head, that's really what I have today. How are you folks doing? I almost feel this next thing is kind of like gossip in a way, almost like you'd be gossiping about your neighbors. But yesterday, I was in the living room for a while with the door open, looking at some new video. I always look at the music blogs to see what's new. I haven't seen anything much of interest in a while. But while I was sitting there, I heard one of my, I'm just going to call them crazy because they might watch me. And maybe this woman will let me know. I'm watching you. I hear you talking about me. But they're crazy across the street. And yesterday, I guess my hearing is really good, or this woman is really loud. But she's across the street on her phone, and I hear her And now I know why there's so much chaos over there and why there's so much traffic coming and going. I also understand now why the kids are such a mess already. As I listen to her conversation, because I'm sitting in my living room trying to watch TV, and she is so loud. It's like she's in the room with me. It kind of broke my heart, to hear it. I said, because this is the daughter of my neighbor who died, who I took to the hospital and helped him in his last days. And we had become friendly. I'd been living there a long time. And he, as we got to know each other, when we'd sit out in front of his place, he would tell me about his life and the problems he had with his adult children. And this is his daughter that moved in to the house after he died. It's going to be a long, hot summer, and I hope things don't explode into some kind of um, violent or dangerous situation, because it could. After hearing what she was talking about on the phone with an apparent stranger, broke my heart. Broke my heart. And yet at the same time, this is where I live now is not far from one of the neighborhoods I first grew up in on the north side. First started on the south side of Omaha, which is predominantly white. And my dad did it on purpose because he wanted us to see. He didn't want us to have the distorted view of the world from inner city ghetto life. He wanted us to see what white people had. And it just informed me, you know what I'm saying? It just informed me about how people live and how people treat each other, you know? And my heart goes out to this lady and her children, because it's unfortunate, desperation. See what I'm saying? That's her right now. I'm not exaggerating. My heart goes out. So, Tuesday, ears are ringing. The last couple days were good. That's why I didn't say anything, because it's like, you don't even say anything. It's just like, oh, this is the way it's supposed to be. Then when it comes back, it's like, you know. So, the plan is to continue chipping away at this new idea for the poems. I like this challenge. There's no money involved. That's not what motivates me. And I like that. Is that what motivates us comes from deep within, especially when it comes to the artistic. Jeez, my goodness. See, her shit is already. See, her shit is already spilling out and affecting the neighbor next to her, who is almost as crazy as her, having all these strangers coming and going to her place for you know what. This ain't good. I'm gonna try to stay out of it, because I can't do an intervention. This woman's too stupid. But I still love her and care about her. That's the difference between me and a lot of people. I'm a human. I'm not a liberal. I'm not a conservative. I'm not a this. I'm not a that. I'm a human. I love life and I care about life. Period. Okay? This left right stuff is so stupid and insane and unnecessary, and we could stop talking and thinking like that. But we need direction. We need help from people who have the resources to change the dichotomy. Is that the word? Start setting a different message. The only message that we ever get through corporate media, which has the power to influence minds, the only thing they're ever doing is advertising and making money. And that bottom line is so big that the other supposed efforts to do something with public interest pale in comparison. We're on a runaway train towards where profit will take us, which is unsustainability. Anyway, all the things that are on my mind. Let's see how the day goes. Hope you have a good one. Family, you hear what I'm living with next across the street. Jeez. See, my neighbor, I just caught it. He caught it. She's in business, and we don't need that kind of business. Take care, people.